We read through the biography of Richard Steele. Now, let us take a look at the essay Recollections of Childhood prescribed for the students of BA Part 1 English Literature, Paper 2. This essay, as you have understood, is by Richard Steele. Richard Steele is best known as the founding editor of The Tatler and with his friend The Spectator. The friend here is Joseph Addison. Steele wrote popular essays, often addressed from my own apartment, for both periodicals. The Tatler was a British literary and society paper which was published for 2 years. Steele was attempting a new approach to journalism, which was more focused on the essay. The periodical was released 3 times a week. Its name came from its habit of publishing things overheard in the high society coffee houses in London. Although Steele did have a habit of inventing stories as well as printing real gossip. Though less highly regarded than Addison as an essayist, Steele has been described as more human and at his best a greater writer. In the following essay, he reflects on the pleasure of remembering the lives of friends and family members who have died. Richard Steele's essay, Recollections of Childhood, contemplates the effect of death and the memory of death on a person's experience of life. Based on his personal experience of witnessing the demise, means death, of loved ones. Remember, he lost his father and his mother when he was a baby in his formative years. This essay analyzes various aspects of death. Steele published this essay in the periodical The Tatler, which was run by Joseph Addison and Steele himself. Through his insightful reflections on life, death and human nature, Steele, much like Addison, highlights the neoclassical ideals of balance, good sense, and moral integrity. He writes in a conversational yet refined style, using humor and changing the tone according to the situation. This essay opens with an interesting observation. Many people enjoy life only by sharing every experience with others, but some people are happy in keeping things to themselves. Such people protect their privacy to honor the memory of their loved ones who are no longer alive. In the manner of a real conversation, the narrator moves from observation to personal experience. One evening, the narrator sat down alone to think of his dead companions. He still missed them, but his sorrow had become less intense. The message is that the time is a great healer. With time, the human mind goes away from sorrow. This allows us to go on with life. Looking at the other side of the situation, the narrator points out that one must at times remember unhappy experiences like someone's death. Human mind loves to be excited with desire and to be impatient in the face of problems. Unpleasant memories take the mind into that sobriety of thought which poises the heart. The mind becomes calm once it realizes that life is a mixed bag of joy and sorrow. To prepare oneself for future, one must sometimes think of the past. It is just like winding up an out of order clock by making its hand move across the digits. The narrator proceeds to think about his own experience with death. His first experience of sorrow was at the age of 5 when his father passed away. The narrator could not exactly understand everything, but by watching his mother, who had a dignity in her grief. The narrator developed a sympathetic nature. Since that time, he began to experience pity for the sorrow of others. Commenting on the significance of childhood experience, the narrator writes, "The mind in infancy is like the body in embryo. If a birthmark develops on a baby in the mother's womb, it cannot be removed after the baby is born. Similarly, one's mind is strongly influenced by childhood experiences. Such experiences are hard to remove even when one grows up." The narrator presents a gentle touch of irony. He inherited the qualities of pity and gentleness from his mother, but these qualities do not prove to be practically beneficial to the world. He becomes too kind and easy to be cheated, and unmanly gentleness of mind, which has since ensnared me into 10,000 calamities, and from where I can read no advantage, he says in the essay. However, he is in no hurry to be gentle and kind. His gentleness allows him to relive and feel the memories of the past. People feel a great sense of loss on the untimely and unhappy deaths of young men and women. For many people, life is a burden, yet one feels sorry when death takes away the burden of life. For example, when a young soldier dies, one feels that the young man could have had a long, happy life had he not been a soldier. Young soldiers have to sacrifice themselves for the political ambitions of leaders. People have great respect for the sacrifices of soldiers. But when one thinks of the people who lose their loved ones or those who die young, pity enters with an unmixed softness and possesses all our souls at once. At this point, the narrator recalls the untimely death of the first girl he ever loved. He wonders why death is so cruel to the young and the innocent. He can still remember his beloved vividly. Death always comes all of a sudden. In the same week, the narrator had seen his beloved dressed for a ballad in a shroud. He still cannot accept her death at such a young age. He pours his love and sorrow in a rhetorical question. How ill did the habit of death become the pretty trifler? This part of the essay uncovers the poignant expression of emotional anguish. However, the narrator goes back to his objective and balanced tone and concludes the essay with the mention of getting together with friends. The essay Recollection of Childhood presents a well rounded attempt to analyze various aspects of death. Steele blends together anecdotes, realistic observations, and intelligent reflection. In a conversational tone, the narrator communicates with the reader. Although the focus is on death, the tone is not too sentimental. There are various examples of irony, gentle humor, and emotional moments. The diction is simple. The length and structure of the sentences vary according to the changing moods of the narrator. This essay is a remarkable example of drawing universal insight from personal experience. With this, we end the session on the essay Recollections of Childhood by Sir Richard Steele. Thank you.